About 5 years ago, I bought myself a GoPro HERO4 Black, and that camera has definitely been great, but today it's time for an upgrade. On the table today, we have a GoPro HERO8 Black. As you can see here, it's got a 12 megapixel camera, capable of 4K 60 frames per second video recording, and 33 feet of waterproofing without a case now. So, going around to the side here, we have the same thing here. Also an 8x slow-mo. I'm excited to see what that's about. And another thing I'm excited about is HyperSmooth 2.0, which there will be a demonstration of at the end of this video, so stick around if you're interested in seeing that. Time Warp 2.0, not entirely sure what that does. 1080p live streaming, live burst, super photo plus HDR, and now RAW. I'm guessing that's only for photos because I don't see this little camera being able to take RAW video. And it's also voice controlled, got a touch screen, and the mounting is now actually built into the camera itself. And apparently it has a GPS, which is pretty cool because I do like to have my photos geotagged. Included in the box, we have the GoPro itself, a battery, a quick release buckle, a thumb screw, looks like a sticky mount, and a USB-C to USB-A cable for charging and data transfer. So it looks like to open it up, you just pull this tab on the bottom here. And then slide it out. There we go. So similar to the HERO4 unboxing, we have the GoPro just right at the top here. So this is a little bit different than the quick release buckles that I'm used to having. There's actually a rubber piece in here now to prevent it from coming unclipped by itself, which is actually pretty nice, but I have never had that happen before. But regardless, it's still a nice thing to have. And there's the thumb screw right there. One thing that is nice here, guys, is that it's got the mounting actually built into the body of the GoPro. So you no longer need, you know, a skeleton case or a waterproof case to mount this on GoPro accessories. It's just right there at the bottom. And you're supposed to remove this piece right here. So if you want to use this quick release buckle, you can actually have the GoPro at more than just that one angle that it was at inside the box. So comparing sizes here, the HERO8 is a little bit bigger than the HERO4 Black, but that's kind of to be expected because this one has more waterproofing built directly into it, whereas this doesn't have any at all. And it looks like we've got a sticker to peel off of the back here. Nice. So this is what was on there. I actually probably should have showed this before, but this is kind of what the interface on the GoPro looks like. And like most of my devices that have touch screens, I did order a glass screen cover for the screen and actually for the lens as well, you know, just in case, because I'd rather have that break than the actual lens itself. So we're gonna go ahead and see if this thing actually has a charge here. And it doesn't look like it does. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate, but we'll charge it up and test out the HyperSmooth in just a second here. You know what? It might be charged, there's just no battery in it. So let's go ahead and stick that in there really quick. Digging into the rest of the box here, we have a GoPro Plus promo. I actually do want to try this out, but I'm not sure if it'll be necessary, but at some point I'll give it a shot and see what it's all about. Inside the box here, we have a, it looks like a quick start guide, just going off of the have questions thing here. We have some GoPro stickers, that's pretty awesome. I need to put one of those on my car actually at some point here. We've got an actual user's manual right here, and safety instructions as well. And in here is where all of the accessories are. So we've got the short USB-C to USB-A adapter, and it's unfortunately not USB 3.0, so you will be transferring directly through the cable at USB 2.0 speeds, which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever. We've got the GoPro battery, which is actually really small. Let's see if we can find a milliamp hour rating on here. This is a 1220 milliamp hour battery. Comparing that to the battery of the HERO4 Black, which they're actually relatively the same size, but the HERO4 Black was a 1160 milliamp hour battery pack. And lastly in here we have the curved sticky mount. They're still using the same 3M adhesive, which is actually pretty strong. I'm gonna go ahead and take the battery and stick it into the GoPro, which, if I'm looking at the pinout correctly, it looks like you're supposed to do it like this. Yep. And the micro SD card slot is right there, along with the USB-C input. Oh, look at that. It's got a charge. There it is. All right, cool. 8 Black, it says on the front screen here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set up. The touchscreen is actually pretty nice. As you can see, it's pretty responsive. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set up really quick. I'm not entirely sure how well you can see this on the secondary camera here, but we've got it set up. I will be setting this up with the app later on, but as you can see, my phone is one of the cameras, so I can't really do that right now. Let's see what we've got here. By default, it's set at 1080p 60 frames a second at the wide angle. Looks like we can do presets now. That's pretty nice. So we've got cinematic. These are just presets here. So we're gonna change my standard to 4K HEVC noticed. So this, okay, that confirms the question I had earlier, and this camera does record in HEVC, which my iMac does support. So we're gonna hit OK on that HEVC notice, and we're gonna do, okay. So it's showing me the HEVC notice again, but it looks like we can actually do Quad HD at 120 frames a second. That's pretty cool. Let's see what 240 gives us. So 1080p 240. And yeah, okay, cool. So the previous GoPro that I had could only do 720p 240 at a very, very narrow field of view. But let's go back up to 60 and, whoops, let's try that again. Edit, and we're gonna go to 4K 60 frames a second. And there we go. So that's what I'm going to be using mainly, and it looks like we can actually change the field of view here as well. So it looks like we've got 4K Super View, which Super View is just, look at that. That is insane. We've got the wide, just, you know, the normal kind of GoPro look there, and the linear, which pretty much does no barrel distortion, as maybe you can see here, but if I hold this up, it's more of a normal look than if we were to throw it on Super View. And look at the stabilization here. That's pretty nice. All right, so we're gonna leave this on just the wide for right now. So apparently Super View only works with 4K 30, but if we go back to 4K 60, we can still do our wide angle. ProTune is still here. ProTune is pretty much a manual mode here. I'm gonna leave that alone for right now until I get it set up with the app on my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing charged up, and once that's done, I'm going to give you a comparison between the HyperSmooth GoPro HERO8 Black and the old GoPro HERO4 Black. So really quick, I thought I'd do a comparison of my Panasonic G85, which actually has pretty decent in-body image stabilization with its shotgun microphone for audio, and compared that to the GoPro HERO8 Black. Both of these are just being handheld, as you can see right here. From what I've seen so far, the GoPro has decent dynamic range and a decent microphone. However, a missed opportunity is this little thing on the front here is not the microphone. And I can't figure out why. The microphone's actually on the side, so if you're not careful, your audio is gonna end up sounding like this. But obviously we can't just have this for the stabilization test. I mean, that would be pretty lame, right? So let me show you what I have set up. On the driver's side of my 4Runner here, we have the GoPro HERO8 Black mounted like this, and that's gonna give you a view kind of like this. You'll see it better here in a second. There you go. You can kind of get an idea there. And the HERO4 Black is right here on the hood, because I'm super smart and lost the arm that this suction mount came with, so we're just gonna have to settle for this for right now. Both of these cameras are set in 4K 24 frames a second, just for terms of consistency, because this can't do 60. Both also in the 4K wide field of view. Both are on the flat color profile, so they will be color graded, but let's go ahead and compare the stability. So to finish off this video, we are going to be doing the same test, but with both of the GoPros just side by side on the front of the hood here. That way it'll give you a more realistic representation and a side by side view of what HyperSmooth 2.0 looks like and no stabilization at all looks like. Both cameras are still in the same settings that they were for the first take. So check it out, guys. We've actually got a cab cam now, and a fun fact about this, I actually tried to do this last time. It's just my iPhone 11 Pro's front camera, but as soon as it connected to my receiver in here, it kind of killed it because it connected to Bluetooth and tried to start playing music. Anyway, though, I've turned on airplane mode, so no more Bluetooth, and apologies if the audio is crappy. I need the AC on because it is freaking hot. Here comes some bumps. This is where I noticed the major difference between stabilization and no stabilization. Pretty big dip right there. Here comes a speed bump, guys. We're gonna take this at 25 miles an hour for you. And there you go. And just to end it off before I drive all the way back home, here's that same speed bump at the same speed. One more dip. Oh! There you go, guys. That is going to be it for this unboxing and demonstration of the GoPro HERO8 Black. As usual, if you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, that is going to be it. Thank you for watching.